So this video here is going to show you how to rotate tires on your Mazda 3 from the years 2010 to 2013. It's really the same concept for any vehicle though. I'm going to go ahead and list everything you need in the description. I'm going to go ahead and try to go everything now so you can get a picture of what all the tools you need look like. So you're going to need a 21mm socket, and this is for the lug nuts. You're going to need, I believe this is a 1/2-inch drive, probably a pretty big drive to fit the socket on. And you need these to loosen these. These are definitely pretty tight. And besides this, these are the lug nuts I've taken off. I've actually taken off all the lug nuts here. You're also going to need a jack and jack stands. And where you're going to want to place the jack stands, there's actually little indicators on this rail here. So for the rear, you're going to want it to go in between here and here. And for the front, you're going to want it to go between here and here. I don't know if you can, hopefully you can see that okay in the video. And then I jacked it up just high enough so that these tires are off the ground. They're just barely off the ground. And the reason I did that is because the higher this vehicle is, the easier it's going to be to tip over. The jack I'm using is a pretty cheap jack from Walmart. If you don't want to invest in all this stuff, you know, you don't have to. But this is really probably one of the easiest ways you can do it yourself, unless you want to get a huge shop lift, and those are thousands of dollars. There are other ways of rotating your tires if you want to use a spare jack under the trunk, but that way is very time consuming. It's very exhausting. So that is pretty much it. I'll go ahead and show you more of the video later. Okay, so I've just removed the tires, and the rotation pattern I'm going to be doing is I'm moving these two front tires. This front tire moving straight back. This rear tire I moved diagonally, crossing over to the front. And this front tire moving straight back. And this rear tire I moved all the way, crossing again over the front to right here. I hope that made sense. All I'm going to be doing now is fitting these tires into this spot right here. That actually looks pretty rusted, but luckily it's not too bad. I'm just going to fit the tire right there. Then I'm going to tighten these lug nuts. I'm not going to tighten them all the way. I'm just going to make them snug. Then I'm going to drop the car, and then I'm going to use my torque wrench, and I'm going to torque it to 85 foot-pounds of torque. And that is a recommended torque for wheels on this car. Also, another note to make is that you want to loosen these lug nuts right here. You want to loosen these when this car is on the ground. So you don't want to loosen it after you've already jacked them up, because then the car might move and might shift and might fall off the jacks. But that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. I'll go ahead and show again when I'm done, see if I run into any problems, but I really don't think I will. Alright, so I've gone ahead and put the tires on. I already rotated the tires. I put the lug nuts on. Actually, there's one lug nut I have not put on. I haven't tightened these down yet. I'm just hand tightening these. And when you move this tire, there's a lot of wiggle room too. So you want to try to make sure you push it against as far as possible. And of course, these are still on jacks right here. Okay, so after I've gotten them hand tight, I want to take this tool and get them so they're, just get these so that they're snug. I don't want to be pulling it too hard, because if I pull it too hard, it may shake and move the car, like I explained earlier. So I just want to make sure they're snug, and then we're really going to torque them down after we put the car back down on the ground. And after it's back down on the ground, we'll use a torque wrench. And I'll go ahead and show you that in a bit. So I'm going to pause the video after I do these to all the tires, and I'll show you again how I'm using the torque wrench. I didn't want to put on this video again to just say that while you're tightening these, if you tighten these bottom ones and then go around in a circle, you'll notice that the bottom one you can tighten a little bit more, and that's because it's very hard to get this completely against the car here. So you want to spin everything, you want to make sure everything's snug once around, and then check it again 2 times around to be really sure that it's just snug on the car, so it's not going to be loose when the tires are on the ground. So that's just something to make a note of. Okay, so I'm lowering the car right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to share what I'm going through right now. So I put the jack right here in the center of the car so that I don't have to do it. So I lift this entire side of the car up, and I just pumped it up a few notches, which is high enough for me to pull these 2 out. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to lower this and then do the other side. And for this jack, you just have to slowly twist this, and then this will go ahead and be lowered. Okay, so the car is completely lowered now, and I'm going to be using the torque wrench, which is right here. It's a very big, and the setting I'm setting this to is, if it'll focus, it's going to be 85 foot-pounds of torque. I know it looks a little bit off, but this is actually set to 85 foot-pounds of torque. And then there's a knob right there to lock it in place. And I'm going to be putting the same piece, 21mm socket on here, and I'm going to be tightening all of these to the right spec. And that is the entire process of rotating your tires. I'd say this entire process probably took me about 20 to 30 minutes. And probably a little bit longer if you count having to grab out all my tools. But it's an easy job to do yourself if you're somebody who likes doing things yourself. And hopefully, if you watch this video, you've learned something from it. I hope. If you have any questions, go ahead and post in the comments below. I'll go ahead and see if I can answer them. Thank you.